What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Continuing on with the Pete Dye series for another simulator vlog back here. For today's video, we are doing Wintonbury Hills Golf Course. This is in Bloomfield, Connecticut, completed by Pete Dye in 2003. There's a bunch of different tee box options, but sticking to the furthest back tees, and there was actually two options for the black tees. So I picked obviously the black tees are the furthest back, at least according to this one on Garmin. Then I picked the one that had, actually a pretty significant higher slope and course rating, so we're doing that. Real quick, want to just relay a couple things before we get into it. So since the last time I've been back here, it's probably been almost a week or close to it since I played back here. The last time I played back here, I did a Pete Dye course, and then I did the first video of the Buff Bogey series, which was something pretty interesting. You guys probably saw that. Was really sore after that, and I'm going to do that again after this one. As for my recent playings, I played 2 days ago on course. That was the first time I played. It was exactly 2 weeks from when I shot my lowest ever score on course. So I didn't play at all on course in between then, just back here. Basically took 2 weeks off, not really intentionally, but it was just 2 weeks until I could get back out there. So 2 days ago I played on course. It was a local course around here, one of my favorites, but it is very long and very challenging, and I had a pretty terrible round. Front nine, I recorded it, so I'm not going to say what course it was, but it's going to be a while before it comes out. But basically I shot a 49 on the front, which is pretty horrendous. The back nine, I actually didn't even add it up, but it was probably closer to like 40, 45, somewhere in there, maybe 42, 43. But pretty disappointing to go from my best round ever on course, and then the very next time on course playing one of my worst rounds, at least the front nine, worst front nine, or a 9-hole, especially at a course that I've played a good amount in a while. So basically for today, like I said, we're doing the Pete Dye, so no real repercussions here. Obviously we want to put up a good score, but it is what it is. And basically for today, I was losing a lot of stuff to the right. I've been doing it here in the simulator, especially the long irons. I've just been leaving the club face open. Club path has been getting back to the out to in again to the left, and leaving stuff right. It was the same thing on course, go figure. But today, basically took yesterday off, and then for today I want to try to relay this and kind of show you what I'm thinking without having the Garmin pick up the stroke. I noticed that happened one of the videos I recently did. I think it was a fan shot video. I was just doing a warm-up swing and it picked up a stroke. But basically for today, what I want to focus on, and I took my time before on the range and hit some 48s, 9s, 7s, and 8s, and seemed to be working out pretty decent. But what I want to do is just nothing really different setup wise, still align a little bit right. And what I want to do is on my backswing, slow down the backswing a good amount, have the club come more, keep it more outside with the face a little more shut, looking at the ball instead of coming in basically behind you. You want to have some more width in the backswing, I guess. Keep it a little more straight out in front of me, and then that should promote being able to come a little bit more from the inside. Still got to work on that, but even if the club path is still not exactly where I want it to be, out to the right, basically what I want to work on is just keeping this slow and controlled in the backswing, having a much bigger, deeper turn, and I think that will promote when I come back here, being able to drop the club more, kind of dump it inside, and coming more from the inside. And again, gonna try the best that I can to swing. At least for me, my swing thought is when I'm trying to eliminate the slicer, go more towards a draw, swinging with my downswing coming more from my right knee on the inside. But basically the release, I saw a video basically just scrolling through my feeds on all my social media, basically just all golf stuff, but I saw it was a YouTube short, I think it was either that or a TikTok, but basically the guy said for a release, a good swing thought is when you're coming through to think about with your right hand throwing the club behind you. So when you're coming through, basically instead of kind of rolling the wrists over to release the club, what I want to do is almost think of more of like a slap and throwing the club behind me to the right to release the club. So I was doing that before on the range, and go figure, slowing down my backswing, getting a bigger turn, bigger, wider, deeper, more slower and controlled turn. I was seeing about 5 to 10 yards more distance on the few clubs that I did hit. So that's the goal. Not super concerned about the score. The scores obviously always want to play well, but that's not the main priority. Today I just want to make sure I'm fine if I miss it 10, 20 yards left every time, but I really want to focus on, again, that takeaway, having the club more kind of out in front of me this way versus behind. I think that leads to more coming over the top is the only way to really get to the ball from there versus coming back and then dropping the club. Seemed to be working, and then again just that release, the feeling of kind of coming through and throwing the club behind me as I'm making contact. So I think that's what, in addition to the wider turn, that extra like almost slapping motion, get a little bit extra speed coming through, and hopefully release the club better, square the club up better, better contact, more distance, and get that ball turning over to the left. So that's the goal, and we're going to focus on that. And then I do plan on doing the second video of the buff bogey, so hopefully get a better feel for my swing, kind of work on a little bit here throughout this Wintonbury round, and then hopefully be able to shoot a little bit better score without having to think about a whole lot, so I don't have to do about 300 push-ups here on the next round. But that's basically what's been going on as of late, and we're going to see how it goes. Didn't hit driver yet, obviously, so this should be interesting, but promising just those little tiny tweaks that I talked about. That was a little bit of a lengthy explanation, but just those 3 different things between the takeaway, the bigger, deeper turn, and then just that almost slapping feeling of throwing the club behind me to the right seemed to be working, at least for the time, with some more distance. So we're going to give it a go. Just going to double check. The camera over here is in the sun. Going to double check it's going. I think it is, so sorry about that lengthy intro, but just wanted to fill you guys in between my last rounds out here. That buff bogey thing was crazy. I think I ended up doing like 130 push-ups in that first video, so we'll see how the second one goes. And then this Pete Dye one, especially from the black tees, isn't going to be exactly an easy course either, but pretty frustrating to go from, like I said, my best ever round on course, and the very next time out feeling that my game's in towards shambles again. Could just been an off day. I wasn't feeling great. It is a long and challenging course, so who knows, maybe the next time I go out I play better again without even changing a whole lot. But I figure I have been losing things to the right, so I want to work on that as much as I can and keep trying just to tweak little things here and there and improve little by little. So without further ado, first tee shot here. And I did realize too, with that one ghost read pretty much when I took a practice swing, I was just like twisting and warming up a few rounds ago. It was a 3-yard tee shot, so something like that. Definitely, I was thinking, I just looked at my suggested tee shot at 256. A 3-yard tee shot that registers is definitely going to bring down the average a lot, so that probably has something to do with the explanation of a little bit shorter of the averages. When you have I feel like on average I hit it between about 250 and 280 most of the time. So I feel like my average should be a little bit higher. Again, it's just kind of a barometer of how I've been swinging it, but when you toss in a 3-yard tee shot, that's going to bring it down a lot, so hopefully that doesn't happen. But first tee shot, going to try to aim up the right side, at least off the tee, and then align myself to the right. So like I said, want to pretty much have everything finished to the left. Hopefully, obviously, pretty straight. I want to hit it as straight as I can, but really want to eliminate that high spinny one out to the right. So here we go. First tee shot. All right. Pretty bad contact, low in the face off the heel. That's going to be a duck hook up the left, but at least it didn't go right. And not a very good start swing-wise. You're going to get 262 out of it, but like I said, I've got to be happy with a day like today where I'm trying to fix a couple things just to have my miss be left and just move on with my life. Second shot, 108. No slope, but we're in the rough, so we got to add another 11 yards, 10, 11 yards. So it puts us at 118, 119. I'm going to go 48. And like I said, I was seeing about 5 to 10 yards more. Could just be swinging a little bit quicker today, but I think it has to do with the bigger turn that I was doing and that extra little speed at the end with the release. So we'll see. Some of these distances might be a little wonky. Off balance swing, that was thin. It came out a little bit right. That may need to get down just a little bit. Alright. Obviously not everything's going to go left. That one stayed out to the right, but that was a more manageable miss than a high spinny one short and right of the green. If I could do everything exactly how I wanted to, I'd be on tour. So definitely still going to be some bad shots in there, some step ups and some mistakes in there, but the goal is just, like I said, little by little. Release the club, bigger turn, better, cleaner, smoother takeaway. Alright, we'll take the par. Second hole, par 4, 341, up 11 yards. So, aim right about there. Doubtful we'll get that far, especially we're going to lose 11 yards on this, but see if I can square up the driver just a little bit better on this one. Still low in the face. That one I still felt like I hung back a little bit on it, but should be pretty straight. Gonna be a low runner. I guess all in all, pretty similar distance. Not quite as good of a strike. We got 251, and then again, realistically that was about 262 because of the slope, but 100 yards left, up 3, so 103. Gonna go choke down 48. Play about my 100-yard shot here. Pop that one up a little bit, spun off the net to the left. Should be decent, should be relatively straight, but didn't, that ball might be a goner too. At least for the time being. Alright, I don't see it, so well, I'm gonna have to look for that after. Ball number 2 of the day. Didn't even see what happened. I'm assuming that was somewhere on the green. Kind of a lot to remember. I guess this is the place to do it. Obviously not out on course, you don't want to do it, but between the takeaway, the turn, and that one, those last two I didn't release. I feel like you can focus on 1 or 2 things at once, but you start doing 3 or more things at one time. That one I forgot to do the kind of slap, throw behind me, release, but we're on the green and we got a par, I guess, so we're even through 2. Third hole, par 3, 168. I'm gonna go 8. It's closer to an 8 than a 7. Good turn, good takeaway on those last couple, but I've got to release it. Alright, a little bit thin out to the right. At least though, that wasn't a super high spinny one, that was just club face was a little bit too open and didn't release it quite hard enough. 17 yards left in the rough, up 1. So we're at 18, plus we'll call it another 2, so about 20 yards. Gonna go 60 degree. Didn't have a whole lot going for me the other day. Wasn't driving it particularly well. Irons weren't great. Chipping was definitely not great, and putting wasn't great either. So obviously all that together. Alright, it's going to be a yard or 2 right, and I didn't hit it super hard. It's probably closer to 15 than 20. We'll see. Yep. But inner circle, we'll take it. Another par in the books. Fourth hole, par 5. So far, so good. Don't feel like I'm striking it particularly well, but we're even at a challenging Pete Dye course. Hopefully this continues with that buff bogey series so I can reduce the amount of push-ups I have to do. Alright, fourth hole, par 5, 516. Gonna aim up this right side, up 5 yards again. All right, that was hit harder. Still a little bit low in the face, but I've turned over that one again. Gonna be up the left side. That one should be a little more distance on it, probably closer to 270, 275. Yep, good strike there, 276. Plus we were up 5, so realistically that was 281. We'll take that all day long. Better swing there. Good release on it. 242 left, up 2. So 244 should be a good 4 hybrid distance. I feel like if I can keep working on this, that release of, instead of, like I said, kind of rolling the wrists over, I have a problem just releasing the club in general. I kind of come over the top. I get too excited about hitting it too hard. I come back, rush my backswing too fast, rush my transition, and I want to hit it so hard. It promotes more of the over the top and kind of pulling the club through, and it leaves the club face open. So gonna try to, like I said, the best that I can, slow it down, release the club better. But I'm thinking, instead of kind of rolling the club over, there's different ways you can release the club, but instead of kind of rolling the wrist over, which is a lot more to do with timing, I think that kind of throwing motion and like almost like slapping the ball, throwing the club to the behind me, will, if I can dial it in, be a little more consistent and add to some extra speed coming through. Alright, that one is what I'm talking about. That's a miss up the left, but should be pretty good distance, and we'll see if it straightens out a little bit. Sit. That's kind of what I'm talking about there. So usually, like you guys have seen, that 4 hybrid's about a 240, 245 club, and we got 256 out of it because that extra speed coming through, plus that lower launch, lower spin with the draw, as opposed to the high spinny slice. We got 256 out of it. So unfortunately, we're 20 yards long off the green, but good miss, better swing at least. 20 yards, up 1, and we're in the rough. So 21 plus another 2, 23. I'm gonna try the 56. That's gonna be closer to 30, but it'll be on the green. It's gonna be a little bit long. All right, landed soft, we'll take it. Inner circle, I thought that was gonna come out a little bit more, but reason why I grabbed, we'll take the birdie all day long. Reason why I grabbed that 56, because that first 60 came up a little bit short. Again, my miss has been long with those. I've been pulling those wedges and coming up long, so 2 in a row that were a little bit on the short side. I guess we'll take that. 1 under through 4. 5th hole, par 4, 3-2-3. Down 12 yards, so let's see. If we can hit one 280 again, we're gonna get 292 out of this. Got some neighbors doing yard work and such. It's the weekend right now, so apologize for any background noise. It kind of is what it is when people are home doing yard work. I am just gonna double check real quick. We're off to a good start. Camera's still going, so I want to make sure everything saves correctly. All right. Let's release the club again. Good, slow, controlled takeaway. Up the right side, bring it back left. Left that out to the right. Hopefully it comes back a little bit. That wasn't struck as good, but with that extra distance of hitting down, we're gonna get some decent distance out of it. Still 292 for a block out to the right. We did aim up the right, but kind of is what it is. Still a decent swing. 37 yards left, up 1, and we're in the rough. So 38 plus another, we'll call it 4. So we need like 42. Gonna go choke down 52. Just played on course, like I said, 2 days ago, so gonna have to clean off some of these clubs before I hit them. Still got dirt and grass in some of them. Alright. 42-ish with the 52. Should be pretty good. Gonna be maybe a yard or two left. Go. Alright, a little bit short. We'll take that though. A little bit better distance control so far with these wedges. If anything, we need to hit it a little bit harder, but we'll take it. Another par in the books. Grab some Gatorade quick. Gotta make sure I hydrate for possibly over 100 push-ups coming up after this one. Alright, off to a better start. Go figure, when you slow down your swing a little bit, focus on a bigger turn and releasing the club, you not only gain distance, but you make some better contact. So 1 under through 5 at this type of course, we'll take that all day long. Nice open fairway here, so don't need to aim as far right. We got a good amount of room both left and right. 6-hole par 4, 421, down 4 yards. It's funny, golf, I've said it a million times, but game of opposites. The further, I mean, same thing with, like, if you guys slice the ball, you know, the further you aim left, the further the ball goes right. And then the reason why I say that is seemingly the slower and more controlled takeaway with the bigger turn, the more speed I'm getting out of it. So go figure, the slower you go, you can pick up speed versus trying to, like, swing out of my shoes and hit it hard versus hitting it quick. Alright, up the right side. Should come back just a little bit. It's not going to come back a ton, but that was still hit decent again. A little bit on the lower side, lower launch, but we're going to get some decent distance. 289 out of it. We'll take a look. I should have looked at the first couple, but 106, 151. I'm definitely with this slower, the bigger turn and the slower takeaway. I can feel. It feels like I'm swinging it easier almost, but I'm picking up more speed at the right portion towards the bottom of the swing after the takeaway, instead of kind of losing energy into the backswing that I usually do and kind of rushing it. I'm kind of almost coiling up a spring, if you will, on the backswing more and coming through. So 106, still, that was low in the face. That wasn't even as good as the other ones, but 106, 151, and I think those are on the low side too still, but we'll take that all day long. Promising so far with these 3 little changes. I'm sure it's frustrating. You find like you play well and you want to just go do it again, and then my game goes to crap, and then I try to fix a couple things. These 3 little tweaks seem to be working, but I'll probably have a couple rounds where, all right, I'm playing pretty good here. I think, like, all right, I got that figured out, and then that same thing will just, something else will break in the swing, and I'll have to tinker and find out what's going wrong after that. But seemingly, I guess, I mean, the pros do the same thing. You see them on the range trying to fix stuff after a round. I guess they go through the same stuff. So there's really no such thing as fully figuring out your swing. There's always going to be something that is slightly off that you're going to have to correct and whatnot. So second shot here, 132 up 4. So 136 should be a good pitching wedge, especially considering with these 3 little swing changes, I'm getting some more distance. We could possibly see close to 140 out of this. A little bit thin, should be pretty straight though. Down. And just like I said, 141. And that's still, that was on the thin side, but we'll take that all day long. I'm liking these changes. Even tougher too, obviously. Vast majority of us don't have, I've never taken a lesson in my life, but vast majority of us don't have a swing coach to tell us, pick out, like, analyze our swing and pick out the few things that we're doing wrong. So I'm kind of not only feeling frustrated where I'm at, I need to put the frustration aside and then kind of diagnose what I think I need to do differently, whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. But there's a difference between, the point of saying that is, I guess, in my opinion, there's a difference between doing something wrong and not really knowing what it is and having someone right away kind of say, all right, change these two things and see how that works, versus not really knowing exactly what you're doing wrong and trying to kind of experiment and figure out what you need to do. A little bit more challenging, but that's why we like golf, or at least sometimes we do. So 1 under through 6, 7th hole, par 3, 246, down 12. So that puts us at 234. I'm actually gonna try the 5-iron. If I hit the 4 hybrid like I did last time, it's gonna be way too much club. We got water left, so I'm gonna see what happens with this, with the 5-iron. Before I was playing it to about, I don't know, 220-ish. I'm thinking with this swing change, if I can strain it out and not lose it high spinny to the right, I could see closer to 230. Didn't release it quite as much, but that's better than how I have been hitting it in the past. It's still gonna miss it to the right, but we got some decent distance on that. Should be pretty close to pin high right. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty far. That's a decently struck. I think that had the slope in it, so it wasn't that far, but I think that was probably the 12 yards or whatever we were hitting down that was with that. So it wasn't 245, but that was closer to like 230. And I still didn't strike it 100%, so I think we're trending in the right direction, at least for the time being. Second shot here, let's see if we can put this close. 21, down 1, plus another 2, so brings us to 20 plus 2, so 22. We're going to try the 60. Well, definitely hit that one harder. Right up and over the net. That might need to get down a little bit. Yeah, a little bit on the long side, but we're on the green. All right, that's 2 balls down. We're going into the fresh sleeve of balls. I think I've used this top one a couple times. Actually, this is the bottom of the box, so I don't know if I've even ever hit this, but we'll have to get those 2 after. Should be another, actually that was a bogey, wasn't it? Because that was a par 3. Yeah, so we went from 1 under to even, but that's all right. We're even through 7. 8th hole, par 5, 558, 260. Aim up this right side again. That one I did hit. I swung it a little bit harder at that 60 degree just because I left the last couple short. Alright, a little bit lower on the face. It's going to be up the left side, but we'll take that for what we're trying to do. Definitely could feel a little more pop out of this brand new ball. .289. I mean, the results are kind of speaking for themselves in my opinion. 105, 151, so we were even slower on that one. Possibly got an extra mile an hour or 2 out of this brand new ball, but 105, 151, that's not bad. And I think, like I said, considering I'm still at 5,200 feet of altitude, I think the ball speed and the club speeds numbers are close. I would have to say probably about 10% off. So I think it's about 10% low. If Joe Legowski is correct on one of his videos, he plays GS Pro, I think it was, which I would assume Garmin's probably pretty similar. I think it was every 1,000 feet is 2% in distance. So considering we're at 5,000 feet, that would be about 10% if I had everything just completely at sea level or like my local altitude and everything here. It would be back to where when I first got the R10, everything would probably be about 2 clubs short, which is about 20 yards, give or take. So I think that considering that that's reading low, I would assume that the speeds are probably on the low side, but I mean, it's kind of irrelevant anyways. It's just the distances match up exactly to what I play on course. So, all right, 269 left, 245. I'm going to play this smarter. I could go 3-wood, but I'm just going to go 4 hybrid again and just play something up there in play, have a better chance of a better strike here. That one low in the face. The club twisted when I hit that. It's still gonna run out. It looks like we're getting some decent distance out of it, but that was really low in the face. 241 on a miss hit. We'll take that. All right, 28 yards, up one, and we're in the fairway. So right at 29. Gonna go 56, play as close to what I can as my 30-yard shot. This is probably gonna be on the longer side of a video again, but it is what it is. I'm kind of talking my way through, not only trying to talk myself through some of these swing changes, but trying to relay what I'm thinking, what I'm trying to do to you guys as well. So sometimes I come out here and I don't have a whole lot to say. A little bit of a quicker video. This one's gonna be on the longer side, but all right, 30 yards. Let's see if we can get this, or 29, I guess. Pulled it a little bit left. We'll see. That could be closer to 35. Sit. All right. Landed soft. A little bit left, but I think do we keep it inside the inner circle, or is that a +2? +1. Another birdie. We'll take it. Starting to feel like the other day was just an off day on course. Didn't play on course for 2 weeks, and probably had my expectations set a little bit too high, going from my best ever round to there. Feeling like, based on how I'm playing right now, I mean, I'm 1 under. We were 1 under. We gave one back, and we're still 1 under through 8. Hitting it better and getting some more distance. These swing changes are definitely helping, but I think I don't think my swing was probably as broken as I thought it was. These swing changes definitely seem to be helping, and it's probably moving more towards the right direction of where I need to go in the future swing-wise, which is good too. But I think it was just maybe somewhat of an off day, and I'm just swinging it a little bit better today on top of the extra changes. But 183, 9th hole par 3. We're gonna try. It's right between an 8 and a 7. We got bunker short. Problem is, I was doing this on the range with my 7-iron. Is getting close to 195, 200 on some of the shots, which is going to be way too much club. So I think I'm going to go 8, and we'll see. Usually I play this to about 170, 175. Let's see with the turn and all these changes if I can get closer to 180 out of it. Nope. Wow, that is really lucky. Sit. That was super thin. For whatever reason, when you hit those thin, that would have been a worm burner, and probably the rough in real life would have killed it. For whatever reason, Garmin reads that with a ton of carry when they come out that low. Probably unrealistic. No shot that was actually 290. That would have been a low worm burner up the middle towards the left, and that would have been short of the green. Somehow Garmin read that going a lot quicker and a lot further in the air than probably it really did, but that was generous. We'll take that, which probably means we'll get an unlucky couple breaks here coming up, but all right, onto the back 9. We're 1 under through 9, 10th hole par 4, 407. Could feel myself on that last one. I mean, that was just a miss hit and a bad swing, but felt myself again speeding up, trying to get a little extra distance out of it, and instead of doing the slower, controlled, bigger turn, I could feel myself got a little bit quicker on the backswing, and then really trying to fire through quicker. Not good. Such a fine line between what I do, what I'm trying to do, and just like one little a little bit better. Still a tad low on the face, but that should be turning over back to the left up the middle. Lower launch again, but we're gonna get some decent distance out of this one. 283. .124 left, down 1, so 123. We're in the fairway, so no rough. Gonna go 48, and I don't need quite a full. Usually my full 48 is about 125. Probably a day like today is probably closer to 130. So I don't need all that much, but need a pretty full 48 still. left it out to the right. We'll see. That may be towards the long side and right. Sit. Catch a piece. Sit. Alright, landed soft. We'll take it. That one seems like I can do a couple of it. I matched it all up, but that one was a better, slower takeaway. Better, bigger turn, but that one with the release was lacking, so left it out to the right. 11th hole, par 4, 439. I mean, for a Pete Dye course, definitely is on the more challenging side. It's definitely pretty long, some of these holes, but considering we're getting some more distance, there are some pretty open holes, so it's good. I was debating coming out here and playing like a local course on the sim for this first one, just for a somewhat easier course that I know, versus while I'm doing all these swing changes, versus something that I haven't played before and I don't know, plus it's a challenging course on top of that. This could have been a recipe for disaster, but so far relatively pleased with how I'm playing. Alright, that was better contact, but I left it out to the right, or at least it started out to the right. Probably going to be up the right side. We'll see if it comes back a little bit. This is a pretty wide fairway, so 266. That was at least more towards the middle. That wasn't as low again. Not as quick on that one, but we'll take that all day long. 266 right down the middle. 172 up 7, so 179. We're going to go 8 again. Not try to clobber like I did the last time, but 7 iron is going to be too much. Alright, a little bit thin. Started right. We'll see if it comes back a little bit. Better though than the last one. It's staying out to the right. That's the miss that I was talking about. Not as bad as it has been the past couple rounds, but that's what I was doing both back here, and I was doing that on course the other day. Just not releasing it enough and coming up. Actually, on course the other day, I was still getting some decent distance. It was just right. Like a lot of times I came up pin high, but it was like 20 yards right. All right, 16 yards. We're gonna go 60 degree. See if we can put this relatively close. Should be decent, maybe closer to 20, but I hit it pretty good. Popped it up. We'll see. Yeah, 20 yards. That's all right. I think that's gonna be a bogey. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have any other tips out there, if there's any glaring swing flaws. I mean, I'm sure I have a ton of them, but some like super obvious, easy ones that I can fix, let me know, in addition to the 3 that I've been talking about so far today. 167, 12th hole, par 3, down 10, so we're at 157. Should be a good 9 iron distance here. Alright, thin, that's going to be possibly long left, but at least it wasn't out to the right. It's coming back a little bit. Go in. Ooh. Nothing wrong with that. Still not the best strike in the world. That was thin. Thought that was going to turn over a little bit left. Possibly a slight misread there from the Garmin. That should have. It started pretty straight, and I had that. I definitely released that one, even a little too much, but back to 1 under. 13th hole, par 5. It's going to be a good test of mental fortitude, I guess, and staying consistent. The more holes I play, I can already feel myself speed starting to slow down a little bit, getting a little bit fatigued in order to keep some of these distances up. And when I subconsciously, or even kind of on purpose sometimes, try to swing a little bit harder to compensate just for the fatigue. I gotta try to remember to to keep things slow and controlled. And if it means maybe not hitting it quite as far as I did the first couple holes, so be it. Up the right side. Didn't release that one quite enough, but it'll be fine. Looks like it's coming back a little bit. Those first few drives, probably the first like 5 holes, we were had a few that were like 280, 290. Haven't seen those numbers in a while. Promising. I can feel now. Should have looked at that one. I'm probably back down. The Garmin's probably reading it. Back towards closer, maybe like 103, 104 club speed, and probably back towards like higher 140s on the ball speed. But 264 left, 247 up 5 where we're aimed. It is a par 5, so I'm gonna keep it going with the 4 hybrid. Not try to do any kind of hero shots with the 3 wood. That was hit really good. Didn't release it a ton, so it's probably gonna fade, but that was struck really well. Yep, 245. And I don't know what if we were hitting up or down into that. That one felt really good, so good swing there for sure. I think I might have been hitting up into that, so that could have been closer to 250, I'm not sure. Either way, 245 on the dot, that's right where we're looking for, and that was dead center in the club face. Just a little more release on that. We're in a good place, or at least a better place. 21 yards left. Gonna go 60. It's nice when you have, I'll hit this first and then I'll, should be decent, maybe on a little bit of the long side, then maybe closer to like 22, 23, or 29, 30. Knew that was going to be a little bit long. I didn't know it was going to be that long, but what I was going to say is it's nice when you think you have a couple things that you're trying to do and your body and your mind actually lets you do it. Sometimes you go through periods, I'm sure you guys can relate, you want to fix something in your swing, and even though as much as you're trying to do something, your body, just for whatever reason, because of muscle memory or just a disconnect between your mind and your body, despite how much you're trying to, for example, like maybe swing out to the right or whatever the one thing you're trying to do is, despite how much you're focused on trying to do it, your body just won't let you. So what I was saying before I stepped up to that is it's nice when you actually try to fix a couple things and your body and your mind actually work together and allow you to do it. 14th hole, par 4, 448. So we got water on the right. Because of that, we're gonna kind of hug this left side a little bit more. And I don't love thinking about being in the trees over to the left in case I kind of overcook one left, but that's better than losing a stroke out to the right. Penalty stroke, that is, into the water. Up the left side, should be decent, maybe just into the rough. It's coming back a little bit. Decent swing, not as quick like I said as the first couple holes, but that still should be decent. 275. That was better contact too. I didn't catch it. I was gonna look at that. I missed it by a second. All right, 174 up 1, 175. I'm gonna go 8 iron. Just gonna get a little more release. Better swing, not as much release as I would like, but that should be on the green towards the right. That was closer to what I was trying to do. Good contact too, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. That one still struck it relatively clean, but 178 out of an 8 iron. That's on the longer side, as opposed to usually when I play to about 170, 175. So for the time being, things are good. Things are looking up. 15th hole, par 4, 1 under, 422. Ooh, there's a ridge here. I wonder if this is gonna glitch. This could be one of those weird mapping glitches in Home T Hero. I've experienced it a few times, that you see this ridge going through the middle. This could possibly be one of those ones where I hit it, and no matter what, it just hits it goes like 20 yards into this hill. Hopefully we get it up and over it, and we don't have issues. But there's one I can remember. I don't remember the course, but there was like a 50-yard hill right in front of the tee box, and no matter what you did, I hit, I think, 3 drives, like 5 yards into it, and then eventually I just had to hit a pitching wedge over it. Hopefully this doesn't mess with us here, but all right, out to the right. That's a block out to the right. But again, 2 out of the 3 I did good. Good takeaway, better turn. Just didn't release it as much as I would like, but up the right side, still better. 287 out of it. I guess we'll take a look at that. 105, 148. I'm assuming we were hitting down into that a little bit. All right. Club path too. For whatever reason, I can swing out to the right with my driver. Club path, that's perfect right there. And club face just a little bit open, but that's perfect. I wish I could get all my irons across my bag with that type of club path. All right, 135, up 3. So going back to the pitching wedge. It's been a hot minute since I felt comfortable, probably 4 or 5 months when I really started working on fixing my slice. I was playing things really far back, hitting things really low. I was getting more distance out of it, but it's been quite a while since I felt comfortable playing my pitching wedge to close to 140. Hopefully this continues. All right, struck it relatively good. That's going to be a little bit left, but that's a good miss. It should be left side of the green still. Looks like it came back a little bit, but that one actually got all 3 down. Good takeaway, good turn. Not a huge turn. That has to do a lot with flexibility. I got to stretch more, but pretty good takeaway, pretty good turn, and pretty good release. 16th hole, par 4, 405. All right, we're gonna favor just the left side just a little bit because there's tons of trees to the right, but I always jinx myself, and I'm probably gonna do it again, but I'm very pleasantly surprised to be 1 under so far through 15 holes playing like I am. There's been a few not so great swings, but all in all, I was debating just coming out here off camera and just doing like a practice day and hit hundreds of balls trying to work on this, but to be able to kind of implement those 3 things into this round and have them work out relatively well, it's promising. All right, that was hit pretty hard, but it was low and up the left. Not as big of a turn on that one, but better takeaway and better release. Probably a little bit less distance because of that turn, but 105, 149. All right, 138 down 2. Should be another good pitching wedge number here. Caught that one a little bit heavy. Should still be front side of the green. or all over it. Let's go. That one I even caught just a tad heavy on the mat too. Let's go, folks. I'm liking this. Another bird. I'm playing so well right now. I'm just debating just stopping after this round. Just feel good about my game for a day. Alright, 17th hole par 3. We're 2 under through 16 somehow. 228. So we're going to try the 5. We'll see what happens. Generally speaking, long irons have a tougher time turning it over, so really got to focus on, obviously, the takeaway and the turn, but really the release on this too. Well, I released it, but that was heavy and left. That's going to be short left. We'll take that miss, though. That one I rushed the transition. Alright, see if we can put this close. 32 yards, up 1, and we're in the rough, so 33 plus another 3. We need about 36. I'm actually going to go. I pulled the 56, but I'm actually going to go 52 and play it a little bit lower, more towards like my 40-yard shot here with the 52. That's going to be closer to like 50 or 55, but I kind of shot off the club. I guess maybe not. It landed soft, but that put a little bit too much on that one. That one, I hit it really clean, and it kind of came out hot, but gave one back there, unfortunately. We'll take the bogey. 18th and final hole, par 4. Grab some Gatorade quick. Camera's still going. Because we've been playing a little bit better, and I've been talking a lot, we're at 53 minutes. I thought we'd be over an hour at this point. So as long as we don't royally screw up this last hole, pretty good round, and we made some decent time having some better shots here. So 1 under through 17, 18th hole, par 4, 410. I mean, this is about as wide open as it gets here. I'm tempted. The thought just crossed my mind to give this one a little bit of a ride, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to keep things more on the controlled side. Just keep doing what I'm doing. Alright, that one's going to be up the left. I released that one a little too much, but again, that's more of a welcomed miss to the left. 269 still with a slight miss hit, and we're in the fairway. 145. So this is right in between pitching wedge and a 9. I'm gonna go with my choke down 9 shot here. Basically, gonna grip down almost, or completely, gonna grip down to where my thumb is halfway on the rubber and the metal here. Before, when I've been doing this, I've been seeing right around 140, 145. Even 135 choking down this far, so I'm thinking with this little bit extra speed and whatnot, this should be close to the number if I can strike it decent, I think. Alright, caught that a little bit thin, left it out to the right. Go, 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 bounce up. That's unfortunate. Thought that one might be a slight misread. That one I would have thought would have been longer and right, so we got lucky on one of them. We gave that one back there. That would have been, I think, a slight misread in, not exactly our favor, but unfortunately a bogey to finish it, but definitely pretty happy of how we just played. So from Wintonbury Hills Golf Course, this is in Bloomfield, Connecticut, part of the Pete Dye series. Again, just going through all the Pete Dye design courses in alphabetical order by state. So we're in Connecticut, still have a lot to go, obviously, throughout the alphabet in the US, and then after that there are the worldwide courses after that. But this was completed in 2003. We ended up, the phone just, all right, I'm gonna have to pause this. screen recording, the phone just went to sleep and turned itself off. Hopefully that saves. That's gonna be really unfortunate, but I just opened it back up. We ended up with a even par 70, so pretty good. 1 under through the front. I think we got down to 2 under, and then we went 1 over on the back, but hit the driver really well. We played really well, all things considered. So 13 out of 11 fairways, that's the best we've done in a while. 12 out of 18 greens in regulation, also really good metric there. Want to be at least 50%, if not closer to 75, and that's well above that for both of those. So, well, not well above for greens in regulation, but 11 out of 13, that's pretty good for fairways, and greens in regulation will take that all day long. Obviously 9 being 50%, and then putts, didn't chip it particularly well, but not too bad. 30 putts across 18 holes, 2 putts a hole would be 36, so not too bad. But I mean, all in all, 70. We got hit some pretty good tee shots, kept things in play, no wild misses. We had a few that we still left out to the right, but all in all, again, beating a dead horse. But takeaway, more on the outside, kind of keeping my width, bigger turn, trying to come a little bit more from the inside, and then again, just that feeling of when I'm coming through, throwing the club behind me, and kind of, instead of rolling over the wrists, kind of more of a slap of the ball, and seemed to be working out. So we'll take it all day long. The phone just went to sleep again. I really hope that saves. I think it will, but everything should be, hopefully. That was one of a really good round, and it was actually being able to do what I set out here to do. So really hope everything saves, and you guys can watch this, and hopefully if you have any of these issues, you can take maybe a couple of these things that I try to do and implement them in your game as well. But that's what I have. I'm gonna go ahead and play the second video, or the second round in the Buff Bogey series. So again, the first one should already be out by now. That series is a for at least the time being, a 12 video series based on the list that I found. It's the 12 hardest courses in the world, or 12 of the hardest courses of the world, ranked 1 through 12. I'm going from 12 all the way up to 1, and for every single, I'm playing from the furthest back tees on all of them, and for every single hole, for every stroke over par, I have to do 10 push-ups. So the first video I did, I think I shot 12 over, so I did 120, and just in case I missed any, I did an extra 10 push-ups at the end. So I did 130 push-ups across 18 holes. So we're gonna go ahead and give that second one a go here. Hopefully keep swinging pretty well, but that's what I have. Any of you guys out there that have any requests for courses, let me know. Give me the name of the course and the location down in the comments. I'll respond to you, double check it in Home Tee Hero, and preferably give me a little bit of background information. But did enough talking on this one. The next one's going to be a lot more push-ups, I would assume, and a lot less talking. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate all the support, and I'll see you guys at the next course.